Hello everybody, I'm just going to go over one of my recent losses here, and part of the reason that I set up this YouTube channel in the first place was to get better at chess. So posting wins is good, but also debriefing losses is just as important. And this is a very recent one, happened today, and about 17 moves. So we'll go through it and we'll debrief what I can see, and then if you have anything to add, by all means please comment. Alright, let's get started here. I'm black, by the way, jrobi. So, just some standard opening stuff going on here in the beginning. Putting pressure on my bishop here, so I'm just going to take the knight. Now, leading up to my demise here, what I did is I reinforced the knight so that the bishop wouldn't just be able to take him. My opponent plays out his knight here, and I take, and I lose to checkmate. So basically what happened here is when I did the transfer for the knight, and the queen retook, another deadly combo was opened up here. So we've got heavy pressure going to be coming to this square. Now, my first move here I think was fine. He's not going to take the knight, and even if he does, I can capture here. And he's not going to take the knight with the knight with his queen, or the pawn with his queen, because my queen will just take his queen. My mistake, though, was opening up that path leading up to the checkmate. Now, when I lost, obviously, I was surprised that I didn't catch that, but looking back at the game here, I think I could have done things a little bit differently. Like, for example, I could have took the bishop here, and go with a new variation here, pin the knight down. I would imagine, and I'm obviously not positive, but perhaps from this point, my opponent might have played here to put pressure on the bishop. Because really, if I take like if he captures the bishop and I take, I open up the path, etc., etc. But I think from here, really the only option would have been to just take the knight, force the check, and force the take. Of course, the king could have moved, but why not take a bishop after a knight's just fallen? Now from here, I could castle, and positionally speaking, it's not a bad position. I've got a weak pawn right here for free capture next move, and things can start to come out farther. I can start to develop the knight and clear up the rook paths and get the queen into action too. So I think that it could have been avoided for sure, and it was good to lose like that, to see just how important it is to make sure that you're not only looking to gain material, but you're also looking at why your opponent is moving the way that they're moving. I should have asked why this knight came out, and I could have answered myself that it wasn't necessarily for just a straight up trade, but I should have been looking for these paths. So if you have any comments of your own that you'd like to add here to what I've talked about, that'd be great. Comments or even video responses are more than welcome. Hope you enjoy the video.